Hello, this is Coach Rich Campy, CEO of Pro Advisor Coach, The Thinking Coach. Here we go. Number 6 of 10 for the Mindscan Thinking About Thinking series. Welcome back. We hope you're enjoying this program together. And if you haven't gone back or seen the previous, feel free to jump back on those. We covered a lot around the Mindscan, how thinking works. Not going to cover all of it in this session because we're going to focus in today on the internal world. So it's the first time we're going to the internal world, and we're specifically going to talk about self-empathy. And of all the different areas, self-empathy is the one that we see over and over and over again of most successful people. They typically don't take care of themselves well. They sort of take their feelings, stick them in a bottle, put them on a shelf because they're always taking care of everybody else. So this is a big one for me that I've been working on a lot over the last 10 years is self-care, putting your boundaries in place, understanding yourself, putting your oxygen mask on first. So we're going to spend some time there, but let's do a quick recap. Remember last time in session 5, I ended with a really tough topic around a bonus material, which was the chair. So let's break that down just a little bit more. Stick with me. Remember, frustration means we're about to learn something new. So if you got frustrated in the chair metaphor, stick with me. We're going to go past that and think about something in your life that you have value in it, but no one else has value. I know for me, for example, I've got pictures of my dad and I and just awesome times that we had on the golf course and singing songs together. We're not very good singers, but we've got pictures of us, hugging each other and singing and things like that. And the intrinsic value of those pictures to me, right, which is the relator value, is really big. It's like huge for me. But to someone else that doesn't know me and doesn't know my dad and is not related to our family in any way, shape, or form, there's probably little to no value. In fact, if I were to put that picture or that portrait in something like, an art gallery or something and someone saw it, they would probably not pay more than nothing for it. In fact, they might have to pay someone else to haul it off. There's zero value in it. But to me, it's priceless. That's intrinsic value, right? But by definition, right, a picture is a picture because it has these properties, which is the structure. So I'm pressing you a little bit on how these different dimensions fit together, right? And if you, again, want to get certified at some point, please check that out, learn more about it. Be awesome. Would love to have you on the team as a certified, Mindscan practitioner. But today, again, we're going to focus in on the bottom left corner. So let me show you where that one is here. That's right here. That's this place that we call self-empathy, and we're going to focus on this whole area right there, okay? So that's where we are today, is this box down here. And again, self-empathy, that's the relator to the internal world, which, remember, the internal is all this down here. That's all of the internal world, all right? All right, so let's jump into that. So let's say, for example, internally, the larger the circle is the ability to understand our feelings, our self-empathy. How well do we understand what we're going through internally? Mad, glad, happy, sad, all that. All the stuff we can see in other people. How well do we understand that within ourselves? And the up and down in the scale, right, the aperture, or how much bias we have or attention, that represents for us how attentive we are to those feelings. So most of the time, we almost always see in highly successful people is their circle being below the center point, meaning somewhere down here at the bottom. Well, why is that? Because most achievers discount the importance of themselves and put it all about everybody else. But I would say part of what drives achievers is this internal place of not really understanding or being in tune with their own feelings or detaching from them, which causes some rub internally, which drives us externally to try and fill that void. So if your bottom left side in your self-empathy is low, it means that you're detaching from the connection within yourself, and you're probably spending more time externally or in another dimension. Again, very, very common of successful people based on external situations, right, that have all of what would appear to be successful, but what really drives them? Is an internal pain to be better, or trying to figure out what that is and go through it? I would say yes, in a lot of cases it is, and that's what pushes us, because we know that all people do everything for one of two reasons. to avoid pain, right? Or to gain pleasure. And I think that particular one drives a lot of us to move forward and keep pressing because we feel pain internally, so we keep moving things forward. So again, larger clarity, understanding feelings, emotions, what's going on with self. Lower part of the scale means a detachment from self, kind of take your feelings, put them in a bottle, stick them on a shelf, instead of addressing them and getting into them. We're going to spend more time on intervention of what we can do to help lift that one up, and it's almost like a muscle, and I'll give you a few of those skills now. So let's say we wanted to work out our abs muscles. What would we do? Probably some sit-ups, right? We could do some crunches. We could do some type of, obliques on the side. There's some things that we could do to help work out those muscles. Same thing is true in our thinking muscles. So if we want to improve this particular area, we could go to a counselor. We could read self-help books. We could journal. We could write letters to ourselves. We could meditate. We could pray. These are all ways to work out that particular muscle to get the bias to go up higher. Just like working out an ab or a tricep or a bicep, we can do things in our thinking to work out that muscle. And we're going to cover that more in sort of session 9 after we get through these other 2 dimensions. Session 9, session 10, we'll start to look at that more. This is Coach Rich Campy saying be blessed, and we'll see you next time.